In 1798, a quiet country doctor wrote something that terrified people more than the disease itself, because it dared to prove that death could be predicted, counted, and prevented. At the edge of England's rolling countryside, smallpox ruled like an invisible tyrant. It scarred faces, stole children, emptied villages, and arrived without warning. Bells tolled. Doors were marked. Families whispered prayers they barely believed anymore. Medicine, at the time, was more faith than fact. Treatments were passed down like folklore, and survival often felt like luck. But Edward Jenner was watching. Not the sick, at first, but the healthy. Milkmaids, young women with unmarked faces and steady hands. They shared a strange confidence, a quiet certainty whispered in barns and fields. "I've had cowpox. I won't get smallpox." That idea sounded reckless, absurd, dangerous. Yet Jenner didn't laugh it away. He did something radical, something almost unheard of in medicine at the time. He wrote things down: names, dates, symptoms, recoveries, failures, patterns. In a small notebook, ink scratching against paper, Jenner began building something new. Not a cure, but evidence. He tracked who was exposed, who fell ill, who didn't. When he tested his theory, he didn't rely on a single dramatic success. He documented everything, methodically, relentlessly, knowing that belief alone would never be enough. Here's the twist that changed history. Jenner didn't just vaccinate, he recorded. In 1798, he published his findings, laying bare his data for the world to examine. This wasn't a miracle story, it was a ledger of lives, a systematic account that said, "Look, judge for yourself." The medical world pushed back. Critics mocked the idea of using animal disease to save human lives. Cartoons depicted people growing horns. Fear spread almost as fast as smallpox itself, but the numbers didn't flinch. Case after case, exposure after exposure, protection held. And in that moment, something profound shifted. Medicine stepped out of the shadows of tradition and into the light of accountability. For the first time, prevention wasn't just claimed, it was proven, preserved in records that could be checked, challenged, and repeated. Jenner's pages didn't just protect individuals. They created a new weapon against fear: trust built on evidence. 2 centuries later, every vaccination card, every clinical trial, every public health record traces its lineage back to that quiet act of documentation. One man choosing data over dogma. Because when humans learn to record prevention, we learn something even bigger: that the future doesn't have to be guessed. If this story sparked your curiosity, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. And tell us in the comments, what moment in science do you think changed humanity forever?